Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Our people are back.
Let's go.
Sir.
You here?
One studio to another.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Come on in. Sit on down.
And
Sit
sit
on down. All right, all right. Coming to you live from the Sit Your Ass Down studios. It's another Me and D production outside the NBA.
Outside
Yes,
the
sir.
NBA.
Let's
I'm your host,
go.
David Johnson, along with,
Dave Jr. was happening.
AM and a PM. Let's go.
and our new addition to the team,
T Page in the house.
T Page in the house.
T-Page.
What's up? What's up, man? We got a new group, and we'll have Mr. Walker walk it like you talk it. He'll be joining us on the
Walk
as
it
his
like
new
you
nickname.
talk it.
Walk it like you talk it. He'll
Yes.
be joining us soon. But yeah, let's talk some NBA, fellas. I want to put it on wax. I know D, you got a few topics, but I always like to come out with that hard hitter. Put it on wax.
Put it
As
on
of
wax.
today, if you had to name your NBA champion, who's gonna hold that trophy
Damn.
at the end of the season? And then we'll amend these right before the playoffs. We'll have a chance to adjust.
Damn.
But as of right now, who do you see holding the trophy, D?
Ah man, that's tough to say. That is put me on the spot for real, because that's tough. I can see Boston. I can see OKC. Boston would have the experience. OKC would probably have just the youthfulness, and if Shea
Yeah.
Gilgeous could keep
gonna
doing
drop,
what he's doing,
I'm
if
about
he
to
can
say.
be a closer, that'd be
Yeah.
tough. Statistically, I'll probably say Boston, but it's hard to be a defending champ. Back to back, ooh, that's tough to do. I'm gonna go on wax. I'm gonna go OKC.
Okay, all right, Drake.
I'll probably have to go with Cleveland Cavaliers, honestly. They just been playing with some straight grit, determination. I don't know what it is this year. I believe they broke the season record for the most game streak, most wins. I think what was
They've
it?
been rolling.
They did 16 at
Yeah,
least
that's what I
3
thought.
times.
Yeah, 16.
I didn't
Yeah.
know if they ever got to 17. I
Damn.
don't remember if they got to 17 games, but I
So-
know they've done 16 games 3 separate times, 16 game streaks.
But I think my pick for the West would probably be Denver. I know Jamal Murray,
yeah.
he was out for a little bit, so I think he might be catching heat here as of late. And then Russell Westbrook, of course, he's been going off for him off the bench. So
Mr. Triple Double.
I'm telling you, he was
Triple-double.
he was the laughing stock of when he was on the Lakers
In
and
LA,
stuff.
yeah.
They got him out of there, and I feel like he's found himself again. But if Cleveland don't get it, like I said, I think Denver will have some freaking possibility to be in there.
You can only say one.
Yeah, it would be Cleveland then.
Okay, so you're going Cleveland. Trey, who you got?
Cleveland.
Honestly, I was thinking the same as Dre. I was thinking about Denver just because
Okay.
the experience, won a
They do
championship.
got the experience.
They have the same nucleus they had when they won the championship with the Joker, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon. They know each other. They have chemistry. And I feel like they're that team that everybody's sleeping on. Not much altogether, but in the aspect of they're not as much of a threat to a lot of people in the conversation of being a champion as they should be.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I see the final being OKC and Boston will beat them in 7. So I'm putting it on wax. I'm going to say Boston.
Wax.
Yeah, I believe because of their experience, the years leading up to when finally getting over the hump last year. And as long as Brown is healthy, Jaylen Brown, obviously Jason Tatum, if those two are healthy, and then you got Egghead Derek White doing his thing.
White boy.
And then you got Pritchard making threes now.
Oh God, yeah. Peyton
And if
Pritchard, yeah, he's
Porzingis
nice.
comes back healthy, I think he's the wild card for them.
It's the X factor.
Mhm. He's the X factor.
Because that's
Yeah.
what it was last year. Because when he played, you like, oh damn, I forgot they had Porzingis. And he was
That's
healthy.
right.
Now if he's healthy, man, I could definitely see Boston. But
And Horford's still playing good defense. And that's the thing. Even at his age, he's still holding on. So I'm going Boston. Now, I thought Boston was your team, Trey.
Yeah, I just really don't believe in Jason Tatum. I just don't.
Really?
because he light skinned.
He got killer instincts. he defers that to somebody else all the time. And Jaylen Brown's been so in and out with injuries.
Right.
Who's to say that he won't be injured in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Porzingis, yeah, if he plays, they're probably the best.
Yeah, if he plays.
But will Porzingis stay healthy? He never is.
Mm-hmm.
It's more just not really trusting their leadership overall. And I can trust Denver's leadership more.
Okay. All right.
Like that.
I like
D,
that.
what topics you got for us, son?
So we're gonna go with the Who You Got edition.
Who you got?
For
Okay.
this outside the NBA. I know people see me do it, the Who You Got, and now we're going to bring it to the show. And we used to have it on the Me and D Pop's Son podcast show. So we're going to bring it back. This is the perfect segment for this show.
Okay.
So for today's edition of Who You Got, we're going to do Who You Got best trade this year out of these three players that got traded to new teams. So 1 being Luka Doncic to the Lakers, 2 Jimmy Butler to the Warriors,
Mm-hmm.
and 3 DeAndre Hunter to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And for those who want to know, DeAndre Hunter, he's averaging 17, 4, and 1. Jimmy Butler's averaging 17, 3, 5.6 rebounds, and 5.5 assists.
Mhm.
And then Luka Doncic, he's averaging 27.6, 8.5 rebounds, and 7.8 assists.
Nice. That's my boy. That hurt so bad when
Man,
dude.
Well, you
I'm
got
so-
AD back after 6
they-
weeks.
after they sent him down to the G League for that little stint just to get his reps. Like,
Mhm.
I'm still hurt over that trade, man. It just,
what did you think when that trade happened?
dude. I was sitting back. I was watching. I just looked at it. I think it was like Gonzaga versus St. Mary's that was on that night. The reporter goes, "Oh my gosh!" There- he said there hasn't been a blockbuster trade. Luka Doncic traded to the Lakers
How they got that?
for Anthony Davis and Max Christie, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I look, I'm like, I think he must be smoking that pipe or something. I was a little tired
On air.
Yeah, I was tired. I'm like, there's no way we just traded away our
Franchise player.
man. And then
I was on a
looked.
Saturday night because I remember waking up that Sunday.
Now Sunday I saw
It
it.
was late. It was
Mhm.
Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it
I
was
was
late.
this,
I almost started crying. I was like, this is crazy. And now you got to go on Twitter, verify it on X.
Even Shams had to verify himself.
I'm
that-
telling you.
make
that
sure
the
I was
trade
like-
was real.
I was like, this is ridiculous, man. That ruined my night, though. I do remember that. I was like, I don't even know if I'll be able to go to bed right now. Just in such awe. And then we lost AD when he first got there. And of course, now freaking we ain't got Kyrie right now. So it's been the
man, it's been a
Spencer Dinwiddie,
man
Dinwiddie
tumultuous season.
and PJ Washington. They got to get it together. Clay's been coming through too as of late. He was cold there for a little bit too, but it hurts as that. And now I don't even think we're in the play-in right now.
No,
We might-
you're not.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
looking at that.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That impact.
You're outside of the play-in, and it's funny that and we jumped to this topic now. Sorry, we messed up your Who You Got, D, and we'll come back to
Yeah,
it.
sorry.
But would you have brought AD back, or would you have shut him down? Because even if you make it to the play-in, you're not going to go that far,
Nah,
missing
yeah.
as many pieces that you're missing.
Yeah,
It's almost a waste of, not a waste of his time. I know he wants to get back on the floor. He's a pro. He wants to prove that he was worthy of the trade to come to Dallas.
mhm.
What if he gets injured again and it's something that's going to keep him out for next year at the beginning of the season when you really need him? I just don't know if I would have brought him back at this point.
Especially Kyrie being out too. Like that is the tandem that they're gonna be trying to push next year. 2 superstars that we got, but like you said, if he gets hurt again, that could put him out for the start of next season. It's basically like a Joel Embiid situation. Okay, they shut him down, and then he has to prepare. Even Wemby's injury, they shut him down, and it looked like it was something that was serious. So that I'm sure that hurt the Spurs as well. Did Chris Paul? Did he get hurt?
Oh, I don't know about
Not,
Chris
not
Paul.
that I remember. Not
It-
that I remember.
Still healthy.
No, it wasn't him. It was somebody else on their team though. I can't
De'Aaron
remember.
Fox is out.
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox is out for
De'Aaron
yeah,
Fox,
yeah. Yeah.
That's what I meant. Yeah. So now, like you said, 2 of your best players hurt. You got to think about it in the long term, not like short term. And even though they said we want to win now, that's why they pushed Luka away. Essentially, they didn't want to pay him the money, and they said, okay, we can win now. And it's like, all right,
Yeah, but if you're not really playing for anything If I remember right, I had the standings up, but they're a few games out of the play-in, and like I said, I don't know if it's worth bringing him back at this point.
2 games probably. It looks like we're right. Yeah, we're almost tied actually with
You're
Phoenix.
right on the play-in.
I'm about to say, yeah, we're right on it. They got us at 11th, but we're like right there tied with Phoenix.
But what are you gonna do once you get there? That's the thing. Is it really worth it? But let's go back to D's. Who you got? So Luka, Jimmy Butler, or DeAndre Hunter? Dre, you can start off.
Yeah, I'll start with that one. I think I would actually have Jimmy Butler. Don't get me wrong. Like I just mentioned, Luka is my dog, but just looking for somebody on the team that can play pretty hard both ways. And I think Jimmy definitely could do that. Looks like even when, who was that? I think was it Steph out for a couple games?
Steph's out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Steph, he's out now.
Yeah,
Pelvic contusion.
Yeah. Oh, that
That's
fall,
all bad.
that fall did look crazy that I saw the other day.
I thought he fell on his back.
Yeah, it looked like it just hurt.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
His tailbone.
The,
Or is his pelvic area is like the front, right?
it was the front. He took a front-facing fall.
Damn.
But he hit the ground pretty hard.
Yeah. But yeah, I will go with Jimmy Butler. Trey, who do you got?
Honestly, I was thinking the same thing, more from the perspective of impacts on the team. Like without Jimmy Butler, the Warriors didn't have a chance at all to make the play-in or the playoffs. And with Jimmy Butler, they're actually a contender. Definitely could upset somebody in the first round, maybe not make a complete playoff run to the championship, but they definitely have a better chance than they did prior to him. Luka with the Lakers, yeah, that's a big impact, of course. Luka Doncic, the Don, top 5 player in the league. But the Lakers, I don't think they really moved in how much of a threat they are to win the championship. I think they're still like in the same tier that they were before him, personally, especially with LeBron being hurt on and off. Right.
And AD had some good games this year with them. Like he was putting up like double games if I'm not mistaken.
He was playing pretty well.
He was playing well.
Coming off one of his better seasons last year.
So I think he will be big for us, but it's gonna take time.
He's gotta stay healthy. That's always what it's always been. He's gotta stay on the court.
Yeah.
Long enough.
As a Warriors fan, I wasn't even watching before Jimmy got there, not consistently. And so from the time he made the team or arrived in San Francisco, the play picked up, the intensity picked up. When Steph's on the bench, he's a proven scorer. He's in the paint a lot. He doesn't shoot a lot of threes, but he's consistent. D, you said the 17 points. That's about what he's been scoring since he joined the team. And he's just been that calming factor in terms of they're having less turnovers. Draymond's game is picked up. Seems like he's rejuvenated.
Yep.
The whole team, he added a spark to him that I haven't seen since 2022 when they run through the playoffs and to the championship. And it's been pretty exciting. I think up until Steph got hurt, they were 11-2 since Jimmy came, something like that. 11-2, 12-2.
I think so Miami Heat actually has been playing worse since he left. If I've seen
they
that right.
have.
Absolutely.
They dropped all the way down to 10th.
Yeah, they're not.
They're barely gonna be in the play-in.
They're depleted.
Yeah,
very depleted.
They're depleted. That was the whole driving force. Driving force for that team.
Tyler Herro can't get it done by himself.
He's injured again, isn't he? If I remember seeing right.
No, he's healthy right now.
Is he healthy? I just thought he'd been in and out of the lineup.
Yeah, but he played yesterday for him.
Okay.
Yeah, they're done.
And speaking of the Warriors, they have them tomorrow night in Miami, so I'll be watching that game.
That's
6:30 ball game.
Oh yeah.
But Hunter D, I know we talked about it briefly yesterday, has made a nice impact for Cleveland.
Yeah.
Been a stabilizing force for them and helped their bench out and improve their depth. They're probably going to take Boston to 7, but I still think Boston's experience is going to give them the edge.
Yeah, I think that they've all impacted each team that they've gone to. Just Luka just being that scorer he is, especially if he gets back. He's a franchise player, and I think for future years, if he stays healthy, Lakers found someone they can
depend on,
build around.
As far as just a marquee, everything. I feel like once you're a Laker, it's something about your status just goes up. You're in the eye a lot more, and especially with a caliber player, he can lead you to a championship. They get some pieces around them. They can ultimately win a championship. They got the money to spend. And then DeAndre Hunter, he used to play for the Hawks. When we drafted him, he's been playing, and he's actually had a real good past couple seasons. But this was his better season starting off. He was actually a real good role piece, a great defender, can shoot the three. And he was actually a good part of our offense to where if we need some scoring, we can go to him. So the fact that he meshed real well with the Cleveland Cavaliers and what they got going on, and he's still able to get production. I mean, I think that's an added piece of scoring and defense. But I think I would go with Jimmy Butler. As far as a two-way player, I think he's probably one of the best. But also, if he gets hot and if he has a chip on his shoulder, we all see what he can do and turn it on and go off for that 40, 50.
He's almost, and I don't mean to crap on Clay because Clay would have that shot, but he's almost better than what Clay had been as of late. So
Clay was a shell of himself.
Yeah,
has been. He's
know,
not been the same.
I'm not talking like
his confidence.
Yeah, I'm not talking like 2017 Clay where
he's going off for 60 with 11 dribbles,
just sniping them,
chopping them. Now he's.
But
D, you said the key word for me. Luka is more of your future.
Yeah.
Jimmy's for you right now in the next couple of years, but Luka, 25 years old, he's on down the road. They're going to be able to build pieces around him as long as he stays healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
I think all of them good pickups. Hunter and Jimmy for this year, Luka for down the road.
Yeah.
What's your next one, D? What else did you have? I know you another topic.
Another topic. So this is going to be, I'm trying to figure out what to call it, either overrated or disappointment. Which player has been the biggest disappointment over the past couple years that used to actually have some success in the NBA? Zach LaVine.
Damn.
Brandon Ingram. Or Bradley Beal.
Oh, man.
Who's been the biggest disappointment? Who's been the biggest letdown?
You need to put all of them on a milk carton.
Right.
Where their games going?
Literally.
Their games are missing.
Where's the game gone?
Where has your game gone? That needs to be a segment.
Where's your game gone?
Where has your game gone?
I like that.
Brandon Ingram and Bradley Beal. Where has your game gone?
Damn.
I mean, out of all those players, who's the biggest disappointment?
Yeah.
I think Zach LaVine for me, because he's just not even. Is he relevant anymore? Where's he now? Sacramento, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's on the Kings.
He got traded.
Take him away.
Yeah, they just pretty
Bulls
much say whoever wants him, you can have him. Damn. I thought when Brandon Ingram was traded from the Lakers to the Pelicans, that was a mistake. I thought that was a piece that they needed to keep. And at times I thought they were missing him when they didn't have a scorer, but I watched a couple of their games and that team's just average. I don't know if it's that when you get to New Orleans, you just I don't know. It's like they're wasting CJ McCollum's talent as a point guard.
Actually, they just traded him.
Oh, where they traded him?
Yeah, Ingram.
Is he in Toronto?
Yeah, he's in Toronto now. Yeah.
Okay, I thought I remember hearing that.
Yeah.
I mean, he don't play no games, so he's been hurt ever since he's been there. So
damn.
About to say, it looks like he
I say for me is Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to Brad Beal? Just injuries?
That's what it seems like.
Yeah, he had recent injuries, but I think
a game about a week or so ago where
like
he got hot.
Yeah, he came.
Like it was the old Bradley. He was scoring.
Washington, man, he was going off for 30, averaging 30.
Yeah, he was averaging 30, but they needed him to average 30.
Yeah,
I feel like he'd average 30 and they'd score 40.
You got Devin Booker. I feel like he don't know when it's his turn to get the ball. That's when they.
And you got KD. That they don't got no
rhythm. Basically,
they don't have an alpha anymore.
Dude,
that's their problem. Phoenix.
Yeah.
Devin wants to defer to KD. KD wants to defer to Booker and Bradley Beal. His game is just shot. I don't know what's wrong with him.
They should have done that. What was that Rival tournament? They should have done the 3-on-3 tournament because they need some cohesiveness.
Yeah.
What about you, Trey? Who do you think is the biggest disappointment?
Man, probably Brandon Ingram, just because he was drafted the highest. He was second overall a few years back, and he had a lot of high hopes coming out of Duke because I remember watching him in college, and he was good for the Lakers, traded him away. He did his thing a little bit for the Pelicans, but he just can't seem to stay healthy, and that's ultimately the best ability is availability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now they're just collecting checks on the sidelines.
He looked like he smoked
in Toronto.
Chops.
In Toronto.
Oh, in Toronto.
Him and Drake are hanging out now.
Right.
Yeah. He was probably freaking just eating too much food, just
That's
getting
what I'm
lazy.
saying.
Too much gumbo.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
That's
gumbo, crawfish.
Etouffee.
Yeah,
Etouffee,
he got that etouffee.
beignets.
I'm
Man, them
telling you,
beignets.
couple daiquiris, and he
Jambalaya.
don't even want to go to work.
Man.
Who's yours, D?
Oh, yeah. I was just. I don't know what happened to Brad Beal. He just fell off the. I thought I had pretty high hopes. I'm like, okay, he's going to the Suns. You go to a little marquee team, get a little bit more money, a
Yeah,
little bit more exposure. You go there with D Book, but I can see why it didn't really work. They didn't really have a coach to coach those players, keep
Mhm.
those, and use a good scheme. You almost need like the triangle offense, damn near for him. You need Phil
Who's the
Jackson in there.
coach? Is it Frank? Is it Vogel?
Mike Budenholzer.
Oh,
Oh,
Buddha.
that's right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say people always speak highly of him, but yeah, they haven't really.
You need a
Yeah.
dog. You need some-
Milwaukee never should have let him go.
No,
Phoenix
that's for
never
sure.
should have gotten rid of Monty. He
Yeah.
was the
Mhm.
coach for them.
Yeah, and then when he went to Detroit, he just was horrible. So I don't.
But
Detroit.
now is he in Toronto?
I don't know if he has a
Monty?
job right now. Let me
I'm
see.
not sure where he's at.
He
I think
was.
I think he got like a little AM talk show, Morning with Monty. He talking about how
Mornings
he's
with Monty.
Oh yeah, he ain't got no job right now.
I thought he got a
Really?
podcast.
I-
Morning
he,
with
he
Monty.
probably still getting paid from Detroit. He probably
Oh,
like
he
I
got
don't.
paid. He's probably still getting paid from Phoenix too. I thought he had just signed an extension with them.
It's like,
Just dropped him like,
you don't need a job. You still getting
man,
checked.
like it was Nathan.
Who's you all's biggest surprise? Let's say we'll start in the East, and then who's your biggest surprise in the West in terms of teams? For me, like in the East, is Detroit. I mean,
Oh,
they're,
Detroit's been
they're
balling.
sitting in the sixth spot right now, and I remember D. We talked about
Damn,
them
who
early
is
in
it?
the season.
Last year.
They lost like what 10 in a row coming out the box, or something like that.
Yeah,
think
it
it
was
was-
something like
It
that.
might have been more than that, honestly. I'm about to say, because I remember.
Coming from off of last year, whew, they were just terrible. But
I
it seems
watched them
like
as the
together,
Warriors a couple of weeks ago. They got a squad.
a young squad.
You got Cade Cunningham doing his thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
He can really ball. He's an all-around player. He can shoot. He can slash. I was very impressed watching him. I didn't know his game was that tight.
Last year, the losing streak was 28 games.
I remember that, but
Yeah,
I thought they started this season with a losing streak too.
Oh, okay, yeah, they probably did. I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
But no,
Who's been your biggest surprise so far in the East?
I would probably say I was gonna say Cleveland, but I feel like that was a little bit more okay. That's like the run of the mill answer, but I'll probably go with Indiana Pacers. They got a little solid young squad with
Even though they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year,
yeah. I
I'm
don't know.
surprised
For
because
some
they
reason,
dropped. Because
that
they
squad
dropped
just-
off.
Yeah. They don't really just strike you as a standout squad. Who would you, besides Halliburton, who would you pick from their team to put on your team? It's what you
I
want
don't
to
even
see?
know who they have anymore.
Siakam, you want
Yeah, they got Siakam.
Obi Toppin.
I do Pascal Siakam.
Yeah,
Pascal.
Pascal Siakam.
I went to a game
T-Page,
actually out there.
who for you in the East?
I think mine's more of a. I'm gonna say the Knicks only because I was impressed about how quickly Cat was able to build chemistry with the rest of that team, and how he
Yeah.
actually seemed like he turned back the clock a little bit to showing why he was such a high pick coming out of college. Because Cat was supposed to be next big thing when he got drafted by Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit, but Anthony Edwards came in and showed that who the real alpha male was, and I feel like Karl Anthony Towns had to take a back seat, and now not saying he's the alpha male in New York, but he's actually having a chance to shine again.
Right.
Especially the style of play they play too as well.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It does suit his game.
Mhm.
yeah.
Who's it for you,
Mhm.
D, in the East?
Biggest surprise, I do that. Pistons is one of the biggest surprises, but I'm probably gonna take the low hanging fruit for Cleveland. Just honestly, just the success they've had.
Second best record in the league.
Yeah.
And just
I didn't see that one coming.
I didn't see that coming. I thought they were going to be around the about 4. Now, no lower than 5 because they've hung around that mark these past couple years. They just weren't ready yet. I think finally they're ready now. And if it did come down to a 7-game series with Boston, I think Boston would edge out. But I can almost seeing just them getting them just based off of just tenacity and just
Yeah.
the
Just
hunger.
hunger. I was
They
about
got
to
a
say.
killer.
Hunger. The hunger. I can see Boston almost overlooking them. Not overlooking them, but they got like a team that's real hungry, starving for something, and then you got a team in your way. I feel like that can will you a game or two just in a away game, unexpected game.
Yeah.
But I would have to go with Cleveland, just the success they've had, and it seems like every player on that team is contributing. They're not selfish. They're playing great team ball, and they're bought in. They've gone into the Garden before and beaten Boston. They've won some hard games. So yeah, I think that's the biggest surprise for me in the East.
Okay. And then we'll move out west. We'll start with you, Trey.
Out west.
Trey, I said Trey.
Oh,
I'm
Trey.
sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
I had to say T-Peasy,
Yeah.
T-Pay.
Look at the standings. The Houston Rockets are second in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Surprising. They did bring in Van Fleet last year, who is a veteran leadership presence for them, but they have a lot of young talent. Jalen Green, Segun, and then they got
Sengun.
There's a head coach that was at Boston until all that scandal happened, but he's a proven head.
him and Nia Long at the separate.
Man.
Hey.
But yeah, he got another chance at Houston, and he's doing his thing, and he's proving why he still deserves a spot as a head coach. So you got to respect him.
No, I agree. That's a good one. D.
Putting on.
Man, that's a real good one. That Houston for sure.
That is a good one.
That's a real good one. I don't want to piggyback off that one, but that is a real good one. I'll probably go. Since the trade happened, I'll probably go. I don't want to take your team. Were you going to say the Warriors? Because I was going to say also the Warriors with their standings. Jimmy Butler's got them playing good.
I wasn't going to say that one.
Because before that trade, I don't think they had a chance, but not at the level that they're at now. Now they fell back a couple spots because, of course, Steph Curry is hurt, but I think that team has found some rejuvenance, if that's even a word, rejuvenation.
Yeah, for real.
Because it's just you bring in a play of that caliber, so they're competing. But I also do like the Houston Rockets is very surprising, being a young team, young squad, but they do have a coach that can get his players to play. He seems like a very players coach. He got the Boston Celtics. They got them playing. And then you go to a Houston team that is very immature, very young, and they got them playing some real good basketball. You add some couple veterans, a couple players that's been around there like Van Fleet, and you get a Dylan DeVille in there who can be the defensive guy and bring some, not maturity, but just some experience on how to play games. But they got some young talent too as well.
Jalen Green.
Yeah, Jalen Green. But I would piggyback off of Trey saying probably the most shocking would be Rockets in the West.
Dre, who do you say?
I'll probably go with Memphis. You don't really. John Moran obviously is nice, but I feel like you don't really hear too much about him. Like a smaller market team, of course, but looks like they've been playing pretty hard this year. I didn't think they'd be ahead of us at the start of the season, but yeah, I'd probably say, because I was gonna say Houston too with Trey, but I didn't. I wanted to pick a different answer.
So that's who you really feel. I mean, it's for me, it's and there's the separation between the Lakers, Memphis, Golden State, and Minnesota, even the Clippers is only like 3-4 games. It's not like anybody's running away. But for me, it's Minnesota and the drop off.
Yeah, I
didn't expect them to drop like they have. They're looking at the play in now. They are a half a game back behind Golden State, but it just seems like it's been a struggle for them. And to Trey's point,
since they got
missing Towns.
Yeah,
Randall hasn't done a whole lot for them. That doesn't look like that was a very even swap for them.
Yeah,
they might have gotten the bad end of that deal. So yeah, for me, it's going to be Minnesota the opposite way, the drop off that they've had.
Yeah, Randall is just not putting any points up if you just look at his box score.
He's not doing a whole lot at all. He's been often injured, but that's how he was with the Knicks too.
Yeah, people probably would think, but between Paul George and Joel Embiid, that the 76ers would be doing a little bit better too, probably. But
they'll be in the court first.
Yeah, that's
right. They're both in the hot tub or the cold tub, should I say?
Who you guys think about the MVP standings right now?
SGA.
Yeah. It's Shea Gilgeous.
I mean, Jokic will make it competitive, but I think they're gonna. SGA deserves it, but also I think they're ready for someone new. But he would deserve it anyway. I don't think it's, especially if they go.
What if I'm gonna say? What if Jokic wins another championship, though, you still think SGA should have been the MVP?
I guess.
Yeah, because it's regular season. Not
It's
playoffs.
regular season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
it's
I'm
a
just
regular
saying, like,
season award.
but if they just have a drop off in the playoffs, that's basically what I'm
Oh
saying.
yeah.
The way it's going to shape up, it's going to be between them and Cleveland as the two best teams as far as record wise.
Mhm.
In that respect, I would go ahead and lean towards SGA. And following up on last year, he had a good season,
Very good
and
season.
Nikola Jokic edged him out.
Yeah.
I think the writers, I think just about the NBA world is ready to go ahead and anoint him the new MVP. So
Yeah, I think they are.
I'm riding with him.
They don't want to see Yoke get it again. I feel like how they didn't want to see Lamar Jackson win another MVP this year.
It's like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan could have been the MVP all those years in a row consecutively. So could LeBron at some point. I think
You just want to switch it up.
you want to switch it up. Yeah. Well, Jokic he's averaging a triple double again. A 30-point triple double at that.
I
So
swear.
that's nothing to be ashamed of for real. And it's almost like his talent is being overlooked. And
it is
for being.
I guess because it's so dull. It's not dull, but it's just
Yeah, we
kind of
just
Tim Duncan-ish.
It's not, but that's
The big
incredible. though.
fundamental.
Yeah, that's why Tim Duncan never got no love because
He's
it was just so consistent.
It was so bland and
It's kind of just bland, but but the fact that how he could produce like that for so many years and
so
still
consistent. Yeah.
so consistently, and still he was still getting championships all the way into the end of his career. So
the European Shaq basically just coming down, just torturing these teams like this. And he got stamina. They said he didn't play so many games this year. He's like, he don't never want to take a break. Just that's something you can admire.
His passing game is just so underrated.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just his overall game.
passer.
Yeah, his overall game for
A big match.
Jay, we just talked you out of your MVP.
I think SGA can get any type of shot that he wants to.
Yeah, he do. He have his way.
Almost a game like a Tracy, but just a little bit more. Maybe like some agility.
To about Tracy McGrady.
As far as just shooting any type of shot.
Yeah.
Just getting a
But
bucket.
he's more efficient with it. SGA is. He picks his shots. He doesn't waste a whole lot. Doesn't miss a whole lot of shots either.
He's shooting over 50% from the field, I'm pretty sure.
Damn.
Yeah, me and D talked about that a couple of weeks ago. This will be the third season in a row, 50% from the field.
So he's getting good shots.
For a guard. That's crazy.
Yeah, leading the league in points too. Wow. Yeah, he points and points
And the
per
number
game.
one seed. That's a young hungry squad too as well with a lot of chemistry.
I think that people wanted to see that from Ja Morant towards, and thankfully he's
we
not.
We thought that was going to be Ja.
Yeah, we did. I'm not gonna lie, and that's like.
But searching for somebody because Anthony Edwards don't want the spotlight.
Yeah, that's true.
But he want
to ride around in a van singing. You'll see those commercials.
Am I dancing in the mirror?
That's
well, who's the dude driving? Who is that?
His partner. That's got to be his partner or something. You know, just be like,
there's nobody. Because the first commercial was who is it? Oh, it was an old time player. It was Kevin Garnett. It was KG.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
And then you go to this other dude, and I'm like, did he play in the league? Was he the water boy?
I was say KG he been on that. What was it, either DraftKings or FanDuel commercial? I seen that one a lot.
It's so taboo that the face of the league might not be American.
That's what I was about to say. I was literally about to bring that up.
Best players in the league are no longer from America.
Because we got lackadaisical. Shoot, these Europeans just started going crazy. They've been watching these Kobe highlights. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's because they're not getting no NIL money over there. They're playing like freaking back-to-back games over there, sweating.
Nobody wanted bad enough over here.
12. Well, and then when you start out like a Doncic, you're a pro at the age of 15.
Yeah,
and then you bring your game here. You're seasoned. Say that again, Trey.
I think they take the game more seriously overseas. Around here, it's like just a hobby to a lot of these guys.
It's just because these kids.
AAU has made our players soft and get them away from the fundamentals
and the hungriness. They just want to make freaking mixtapes.
It's just highlights. Highlights. Can I get a shoe contract?
Instead of just,
it's not the love and putting that work in. And you're right, they are hungrier. And the face of the league will be, if it's not Wembanyama, it's definitely going to be Shea.
Yeah,
like you said, what's his name? Sure. Anthony Edwards doesn't want it. He could be. He shies away from it. So
He don't want
Hey.
it like he told that one girl.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
Mr. Wallace.
Oh yeah, you should pay $100,000 for the yeah.
Wow, we didn't want to go off on that tangent, but you got to add a little pop culture in there.
Man, for real. But yeah, that's where it's league because your top players, say Shea Gilgeous,
Perform.
Jokic,
Wemby, he
Giannis.
France,
Wemby's your true
Serbia,
face if he can stay
Canada.
healthy.
Yep, Giannis.
Jamal Murray's, he's Canadian too.
Yep.
For some reason, yeah, like Trey was saying, I don't think Jason Tatum, he's it. Like he's good.
You don't
He'll
give him
be.
his flowers, but
Of course, give him his flowers.
he hasn't consistently done anything that has wowed people.
But
That's
I
what
just
I
don't
was
put him in that. Yeah, I haven't put him in
Like
that.
fear in nobody's eyes.
I think he's shown up a little bit more this year than in the past.
Mhm.
And I think the playoffs will show us if he can be that person.
Yeah.
Up to now, he hasn't been. I've definitely been vocal about him not being that leader, but maybe this is the year. We shall see. All right, that's going to put a bow on this first episode of the Outside the NBA podcast. Thank you all for joining us.
Yes,
We're out.
sir. We out.
See you.